good evening, everyone. I am now going to call the August 18th, 2025 Board of Education meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Ms. Kerr.
Here.
Ms. Khan. Ms. Martin.
Here.
Ms. Nolan.
Here.
Ms. Schwartz. Ms. Thomas.
Here.
President Owens.
Here. May I have a motion to move into closed session to discuss individual student disciplinary matters, pending probable or imminent litigation, the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees, specific individuals who serve as independent contractors in a park, recreational, or educational setting, or specific volunteers of the public or legal counsel for the public body, the purchase or lease of real property for the use of the school board, the setting of a price for the sale or lease of real property owned by the school board, an internal audit, control weakness, identification of potential fraud risk areas, known or suspected frauds and fraud interviews, collective negotiating matters between the school board and its employees or their representatives, or deliberations concerning salary schedules for one or more classes of employees, the review of closed session minutes, and individual student matters.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Kerr.
Yes.
Ms. Martin.
Yes.
Ms. Nolan.
Yes.
Ms. Thomas.
Yes.
President Owens.
Yes.
We're in closed session at 6:01 p.m.
Good evening, everyone. I am going to reconvene the August 18th, 2025 Board of Education meeting. If I could have everybody stand as they are able to say the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. The first item on our agenda is Accent on Achievement. Dr. Johnson?
Thank you, President Owens. This evening, as part of the Board of Education's Accent on Achievement, the Board of Education would like to honor School District U-46's Financial Operations Department for having been awarded a meritorious budget award by the Association of School Business Officials International for fiscal year 2025. Robin Cornelissen, Executive Director of Finance, will accept the recognition on behalf of the district's financial operations team, and she is also joined by Trinette Gardner. So I believe Board Member Khan is going to come forward to make that presentation.
District U-46 hereby recognizes the U-46 Finance Department. Hello, yes. Okay. Sorry about that. The U-46 Finance Department for receiving a meritorious budget award for fiscal year 2025 from the Association of School Business Officials, ASBO. Presented this 18th day of August, 2025.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about the plaque that you brought with you this evening as well?
Oh goodness, put me on the spot. So
you brought the plaque.
yes. So this is the long-standing number of years that the district has won the Meritorious Budget Award. The Budget Award is a document that we create and submit with very extensive criteria that we have to meet in order to be awarded the Meritorious Budget Award. So I have just rejoined the group, and we won it back there. So I want to thank Trinette and the entire finance team. They are fantastic and the leading contributor to this award.
Okay, the next item on our agenda is Strategic Plan Report. Dr. Johnson.
Thank you, President Owens. Our first strategic plan report is the back to school update. And so I'm going to welcome our team to the podium and see the excitement. They're all rushing to be the first one there to provide the update tonight. And it looks like Deputy Superintendent of Instruction Lala Majstorovic has claimed the first spot for the first update.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. We have welcomed back over 33,000 students to U-46 last week, and today was the first day of preschool across our district. We have our new classrooms that are opened at Fox Meadow Elementary and at Coleman Elementary, I believe. And so we are very, very excited about the new classrooms, the expansion of preschool. Very thankful for all of our teachers and educator support personnel and all of the people who have worked tirelessly to prepare their classrooms and make them joyful learning environments that are welcoming for our students. They looked great. Their resources and materials are all in their classrooms. They're decorated. Staff was wearing their school t-shirts and showing school spirit, and students were showing their school spirit as well. We also had our last first day at several of our elementary schools, and I know many of you had the opportunity to join that experience as well. And there's just been a lot of celebration. There's been a lot of really great positive energy across the entire district, and we're very thankful to all of the staff and the students and the families and the administration for really, working hard to make sure that this was a great opening to the school year. So thank you.
All right, next we have our Assistant Superintendent of Operations, Sheila Downs, for an update as well.
Awesome. So I have the operational update. And so I'm going to report for the 4 operations departments. So information services kicked off a successful start of the school year, and their primary focus is getting the updated technology into the hands of both students and staff. And they're currently doing that as we speak. And additionally, they are well on their way with the refresh of the interactive display boards. And so this is year 2, and they're currently tackling both of those. I also reported from food service that chicken wings were on the horizon at the secondaries, and it is no surprise that they were a huge hit at the secondaries with the 3 sauces, the teriyaki, the buffalo, and the barbecue. And so that's a really big deal there. Meal participation numbers continue to increase, not only at Hawk Hollow, which is their first year having a food service program at the middle school, but district-wide. And so that's something that we're really celebrating as well. Transportation also kicked off their routes for 27,000 students. And so they also kicked off their annual transportation call center. We had tons of volunteers from throughout the district, so big shout out to all the staff members who helped man the transportation call center. And last but certainly not least, plant operations completed their planned summer projects collectively in budget and on time. And students and staff were collectively excited to return to updated facilities, playgrounds, parking lots. So there was a lot of buzz in the schools about their renovated spaces. So again, none of this would be possible without obviously the support of the Board of Education, the collaboration between departments, but also the 900+ operations support staff. And so a big thank you to everyone who had a hand in helping us successfully open the schools this year. Thank you.
Dr. Johnson, did you have anything to add?
I will also echo all the thank yous. So with today, we are officially back at all grade levels. K through transition programs. I had the pleasure of starting on the 11th, and then today we welcomed our youngest learners back to our sites. So I want to thank our instructional and operational leaders for all of their work to make the start of the school year possible. I want to thank the Board of Education for your ongoing vision and leadership and really helping us, as Lella identified, recognize our history and start to also prepare and move forward with the future of U-46. I think it's terribly exciting. I want to thank our families and our community members. Without our community members, without our family support, the work that we are doing would not be possible. And I want to thank our students. It is always wonderful to see our students back in our buildings, in our classrooms, activities and learning experiences. So thank you so much for this opportunity, and thank you for the opportunity to be a leader in U-46 with our distinguished team members. I appreciate it.
Do board members have any questions about the first days of school? And I'll just echo, and on behalf of the board, thank you to all of our staff and all of everybody that has been in place to welcome back our 33,000 plus students. Very exciting. Next item on the agenda then is the facility planning update.
Thank you, President Owens. This evening, we have Brian Lindholm, Chief of Staff, and Dr. Ann Williams, Deputy Superintendent of Operations, who will present to the Board of Education an update on facility planning.
And thank you for another opportunity to provide the Board of Education with an update on our facilities work. Tonight's update includes construction at Kimball, Kenyon, Century Oaks, Glenbrook, and the new middle school in Elgin. And the special treat after the videos that we have to share is information on the naming of the new school the new middle school to be built in Elgin. Not listed on our agenda tonight, but worth mentioning, is the successful opening of the Hawk Hollow Middle School last week. And as you can see here on the right, we have a picture from the middle school experience in late July, and those learning stairs look even better with all of our lovely students showing there. So with that, I'll go ahead and get started with the actual update. First up today, we have Kimball, and what you can see here are two of our newly renovated spaces, reflecting some of the newly designed instructional areas. The construction teams at Kimball did a great job completing the first phase of construction over the summer, and from spring through the summer, actually. So they allowed for our students to safely return for classes last week. A very big thank you to our construction manager, Gil Bain, to Ms. Sheila Downs and her efforts throughout the summer, as well as up until the very last minute on Sunday before school started, and our operations teams who were working diligently over that final weekend to put all the final touches on. Also want to take an opportunity to thank Principal Coleman as well as Assistant Principal Rios for working hard with us to make sure that everything happened and we were ready for our staff. We knew this summer would be a critical stretch for this project, and some of the work did come right up to the last minute, but we got it done because we had a great team working. So thanks to everyone involved with that project. Here, there's even more exciting work. We can see that the addition has officially gone vertical. A major milestone for this project. You can see the walls are rising on the east side of the building, supported by scaffolding and steel framing, and interior masonry and mechanical prep are also in progress, setting the stage for the trades that will follow after that. Construction will continue east of the existing building with a focus again on foundational work, underground utilities, and continued masonry for load-bearing walls. Now, at the bottom of this slide on your right, you can see that the north parking lot is now open for staff, which certainly eases the street congestion and supports a smooth return to school. And then on the bottom left, you can see that the student drop-off has been clearly defined with bilingual signage and fencing in place to ensure the safety of our students and of our staff. So with that, we'll go to Kenyon Woods, and we are extremely excited about this project. As you can see from the gray roof in the picture, a large addition has come together over the summer. The team is continuing to work on getting everything under roof by fall, including installing insulation. They're also working to complete the face brick on the exterior, and in the coming weeks, they will begin installing the windows. So this particular project has come along very rapidly, and we are thankful to our partners who are here from ICI, as well as the staff that have helped with that project. I think with that, I can't forget to mention baby Kenny. If you look at the far right side, you will see a black panther, and he is our project mascot. You may have seen him in some of the slides before, but he is ready for school too. He has a new hat on, a new backpack, and he has a student ID. He's been observing the project when we are not around in the evenings, and he is doing a fabulous job. So that is baby Kenny, and with that, I will turn it over to Mr. Lindholm, who has some great videos to share with us this evening.
Thank you, Dr. Williams. So at this point, we're going to transition to updates on projects at two of our elementary schools, Century Oaks Elementary in Elgin, and then Glenbrook Elementary in Streamwood, and we'll start with Century Oaks. Studio GC is the assigned architect for this project, and we're nearing the completion of the design phase, as well as submitting a site development permit to the City of Elgin to get the necessary approval for the project. We're planning to start construction bidding in the next few weeks, which would allow us to potentially break ground before the winter. The project will be completed over several phases during the 25-26 and 26-27 school years, and we will share more details on the phased construction schedule in our next update. But for now, we're excited to give you a virtual walkthrough of the newly designed Century Oaks. So enjoy. So we start out here on the exterior of the building. You see the new welcoming canopy. And as we swing around, you start to see the first bump out for the additions in the instructional area. You see the blue glazed brick. Each of the areas are it's a biome theme with a color. So that is the Fox River, or the blue biome. We'll see more of that later when we come inside the building. Now we're over looking at the addition, which is where the early childhood wing would be. So this sits north of the current building. This is green, so this is the forest biome. And now we swing back around the front and we'll come inside. So we step in, it's got a secure vestibule. There's some signage explaining the biomes. Peek at the new library. We come into the purple, or the neighborhood biome. So all of the colors kind of help with wayfinding in this building because it's a circular building. It's easy to get lost. Here we are in the blue biome. Peek into a typical classroom here. Yellow is the grasslands biome. Peek into a science room here. You can see these light wells through the window there. That helps bring in natural light into the classrooms and into the library. And now we get to see their new library. Fun elements in the ceiling, signage. Back in the early childhood wing. Now this is the gross motor play area for early learners. Peek into an early childhood classroom here. A lot of the windows at different heights to allow shorter kids to be able to see outside and get natural light in their eyes. So that was Century Oaks, which looks great. The next school then is Glenbrook Elementary in Streamwood. This project has a similar timeline and phased construction plan to Century Oaks. Tomorrow evening, we will be in front of the Village of Streamwood Planning and Zoning Board requesting a special use amendment request. We've had a series of meetings with their administrative team, and they are recommending that they grant this request, but we will be presenting in front of the board tomorrow evening. Like Century Oaks, we would anticipate being out to bid in the next few weeks, and the project would also be completed over several phases during the 25-26 and 26-27 school years. So now we have a similar preview of Glenbrook. So again, we start on the exterior and come around to the front entry. You see some of the sort of colorful, playful elements. This is an elementary school after all. New windows and window openings throughout the existing building and the addition. The different sort of colors and shapes and sizes provide way more natural daylight. This is a building that does not have a lot of light currently. Now looking at the addition, the two anchors of the addition are really the library and then the gross motor play area. So a little quicker view of the outside. So now we're going to come inside. They also have the secure vestibule. See there's a transaction window here for the secretary in the office to greet visitors and buzz them through as appropriate. We will start out in the addition, and we'll look in the gross motor play area. This one has sort of a outer space or rocket ship theme. Very fun and appropriate for this age learners. Lots of color and decorative lighting on the ceilings. Peek into a typical class, or this is the that is an early childhood room. Kind of see through the window there the interior courtyard. So where the library sits today in the center of the building, it's going to be replaced by a courtyard, and that's what brings in the natural light into some of the interior rooms in the layout. And here we see the courtyard. Supposed to be low maintenance turf, very low maintenance plantings out in this area. Access from one of the new science rooms here. So if they want to do any sort of outdoor learning or experiments, they would have direct access. And this is a look at their new library, since the current library will be replaced with the courtyard. This new library is then on the addition. Again, you see the windows with a lot of different sizes, different colors and shapes of windows. Fun lighting, ceiling elements. Maker space on the left side as we came out. So that was Glenbrook. And I see Principal Sharma here, and Principal Fredrickson, Ashley Tillup. So the building administrators, we were able to go through this with them last week. They asked a lot of great questions. They've been very involved throughout the whole process, and they are very excited and anxious to be able to introduce these new spaces to their communities. So now we'll transition back to the middle schools. We do have an update on the recent progress for our new middle school in Elgin that will be adjacent to Hilltop Elementary on Rorson Road. So following approval of the mass grading permit from the city of Elgin earlier this summer, the construction team has been very productive. They've actually had a great summer. The weather's gotten crazy lately, but generally they had a really nice stretch and made some really good progress. And if anything, are probably a little bit ahead of maybe where they thought they'd be, given that we got a later start with some of the permits. So with the earth moving work, the excavation of the storm trap, and establishing the building foundation, which you'll see in just a moment. They've started concrete work recently, and masonry is scheduled to begin later this month. I did also want to share, we had a great meeting recently with the new principal at Hilltop Elementary to connect him with the construction team, since they will be neighbors for the next couple of years, but also to discuss some educational opportunities for the elementary students at Hilltop as they see this new middle school going up kind of in their backyard. So for example, this fall, we thought could be a great opportunity to teach our students about geothermal energy as part of their STEM lessons, as this work would be happening on site. And so with that, here is a short drone video that the Gilbane team put together showing the current status of the site. So here off to the right-hand side are kind of the, is out towards Cardinal Drive. That's where the storm trap will be put in. So that's our stormwater detention area, and there's a better view of it. And then kind of at the bottom of your screen, and we'll get a better look in a second, is the foundation for where the building itself will sit. And here's an overhead view of that. So you start to see the outline of the building. We're even starting to get some of the walls started. For anybody who's been there, it is a full-blown construction site, lots of activity every day. And there you get a view of kind of how it sits relative to Hilltop Elementary. So these are a couple pictures that Dr. Williams took. She's very good at capturing photos, as you all know if you've ever been to any of these visits with her. So this is of that storm trap area, and they were taken 1 week apart. So the picture on the left, several of us decided we needed to go down into the storm trap just to kind of demonstrate how huge this thing really is. So it is more than 15 feet below grade. So the one that was installed at Kimball, which to us all seemed like a giant hole in the earth, and as you watch these storm trap pieces being installed, it is like tons and tons of material to develop this huge basin to collect all the stormwater. This one will be about 3 times the size that Kimball's is. So it is just massive. This does support long-term drainage and site stability, so it was a requirement by the city of Elgin. It really helps us to make sure that we're being a good neighbor for the surrounding communities and not introducing stormwater issues. But then the next week, this is the same storm trap, and you can see that the crews had poured much of the structural slab, which is the floor of the storm trap system, and you can see that on the left-hand side of that picture. So they're really moving the project quickly towards completion. And again, it's really staggering to go out there even once or twice a week and see how much progress is happening every day that they have good weather. They're making really rapid progress. So we are hoping that we don't need to keep calling this one the new middle school in Elgin. We would like to actually have a name for this school. So tomorrow we will be officially launching the nomination process, similar to what we did for Hawk Hollow. As we shared last fall, the board, we do have an established board policy stating that the Board of Education is responsible for naming and renaming of our schools, but it does also specify that anyone in the U-46 community can submit a nomination to the superintendent or designee for the board to consider. So encouraging anyone who's watching, if you have ideas for the name of our new middle school, to review the terms of the board policy and consider submitting a nomination. And then from there, we have an established process for calling a town hall meeting to receive public comments regarding the nominations, and then it is handed to the Board of Education for consideration. So our tentative schedule then would be, we will start receiving nominations tomorrow, and there will be additional communication that will be going out tomorrow. We've reached out directly to some of the residents in the area, current Hilltop Elementary students, and then we'll be reaching out to families of students who will be assigned to this new school under the new attendance boundaries. But it'll also be on social media, it'll be on the website, and it is open for 30 days. So it would be open starting tomorrow, and then the nominations would be due by September 19th. We would then hold a town hall meeting at Hilltop Elementary where people can come and give public comments explaining why they submitted the names that they submitted. We can hear other feedback from our community. We would then bring a recommendation and a written report to the Board of Education for the October 20th meeting, such that the Board of Education could potentially vote to take action then on November 3rd. So with any luck, then we would have a name for the school at that point. It is needed for, even though it doesn't open for a couple years, it is needed for some reasons. We need to get the school established with the State Board of Education, to get school codes assigned. Once we start assigning students to the school based on the new attendance boundaries, we need to get set up an infinite campus. But then our teams are anxious even for purchasing and installing signage and any other branding elements that would be built into the design. So we think this process went really well last year with Hawk Hollow, so we're hoping and expecting that we'll receive great community engagement and many great nominations for this school as well. And that is our update for this evening. Next month, we had 2 other projects that were not covered tonight, so we've got a lot of things going on right now, as you can see. The 2 we did not talk about are the conversion of Illinois Park Elementary and then the new elementary school to be constructed at David C. Cook. I will let you, those projects are both very active and underway. We've got teams assigned to those, so we will have more detailed updates on those 2 next month. But that would conclude our presentation. Are there any questions at this time?
Thank you for the presentation. It's coincidental on a day like today when we had significant rainstorm before the board meeting
Right.
to be highlighting that storm trap system, because that's, if what happened this afternoon is any indication of how important stormwater retention is, then that's a good example of why we need that system. So thank you.
Exactly.
Do board members have any questions? Any comments? Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Okay, the next item on our agenda is comments from the audience.
We do not have any public comment this evening.
Okay. We will move then to other business board member and superintendent update. Do any board members have any updates to share? Ms. Martin?
Okay, so welcome to the school year. I just wanted to kind of touch base on my first day of the school year. I wanted to thank Dr. Williams for letting me join her morning that day. We started our morning at Hawk Hollow Middle School. I want to thank our staff and families that are there this year. It's very exciting to have students in our building for the first time. So, you know, congratulations on the new building. I'm excited to see how that works out, and then the addition of more students next year. We also visited Lowry Elementary School. It was so adorable to see all the littles going in for their first day of school and all the excited and some emotional parents on that day. So that was very adorable and cute. It's been a long time since I had littles. We made our way over to Kimball Middle School. I want to thank our staff and families. That is one of our schools that has a lot of construction at the moment. So I know it's a bit chaotic, and just thank them for their patience and working with us at this time. It'll totally be worth it when it's done, and your building will be gorgeous, so just thank you again. I got to stop through at our commissary, and thank you to our staff and all their hard work there. We did a peek at the warehouse, and then I did get to do a little peek at the new Elgin Middle School that's going on, and to see a little bit of the construction. The size of that storm drain system is ridiculous when you see it in person. So that was a little scary, and there was, they showed the roof in those pictures, and there's all the rebar, and they're laying all that by hand. So it's just people in a pit laying rebar one by one, so that was super impressive on the day. So I'm just excited for all our families to start the year again, and thanks to all our staff. And thank you again, Dr. Williams, for joining me that morning.
Thank you for sharing all that. Sue?
So I also had a great first day. I want to thank Mrs. Mastorovich for letting me tag along with her. I think we went to 10 elementary, middle, and high schools. We went to Washington, first of all, for their first day of school. They had a great ceremony with parents and students and even some alumni there, which was a lot of fun. And it was great seeing, the schools were beautiful. Plant department did a great job getting everything ready. Teachers were excited, students were excited. I think I only saw one kid the whole day crying, which was great. And even the middle and high school kids didn't look too lost. But they did ask us a few times where to go. I was much help, but so it was a lot of fun. So thank you.
Thank you for sharing. Anybody else? Samreen?
I had the pleasure of being able to visit with Mark Moore. Sorry, I'm having problems with microphones today. Bartlett Elementary, and then we walked over to Eastview Middle School, and I can't say the team, I mean, Eastview was really prepared. They had their mascot with cheers, and everyone was in the red Eastview t-shirts, so that was nice, and yeah, it was a pleasant first day for everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Veronica?
So sorry. I had the pleasure of being with Dr. Von Schnazy on the first day, and we got to visit all those behind-the-scenes departments. So we went to the commissary, to both transportation, buildings, operations, even got to see mechanics at work. I mean, it was an amazing first morning. I just went for the morning, and I appreciate being able to see all the behind-the-scenes work that goes in place for that first day of school. So it was my pleasure to do it, and I appreciate it. Thank you, Dr. Pachnazy. It was a great first day.
Thank you. Anybody else? Dr. Johnson, do you have anything?
No, I echo what everyone has said. I had the pleasure of visiting schools and sites with Ms. Schwartz, and again, just wonderful to see our teams there. Really appreciate also, in addition to, of course, seeing our administrators and our teachers, our paraeducators ready to welcome students, but our operations team out at sites as well, welcoming students as well. So Plant Operations has had such a significant role this year. It was great to see their team members out welcoming students in addition to food services, our tech team, transportation. So I think our students certainly felt welcome, as did our parents and our community members who were making their way back to sites. So it's always, again, it's the best part now that we have students back in our schools and across the district. It's the best part of the year.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is FOIA requests.
This evening, we have 4 Freedom of Information Act requests available on the public domain of board docs. They will also be available on the School District U-46 website later this week.
Okay, next item is consent agenda, Dr. Johnson.
Our first item this evening, personnel report and workers' compensation cases. We also have minutes of board meeting May 19th, 2025, termination of Esmeralda Perez Serrano, HR generalist, proposal, plant operations, postage, proposal, professional learning, formative online assessment platform, professional learning, proposal, teaching and learning, Elgin Community College room rentals, contract, food and nutrition services, equipment purchase for meal packaging lines, contract, Office of Schools, professional learning consultant, and building permit 1, Elgin High School picnic shelter, project number 25-003.
Are there any items that board members would like removed from the consent agenda? Hearing none, may I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as read into the record?
So moved.
Second?
Roll call, please.
Ms. Kerr?
Yes.
Ms. Khan?
Yes.
Ms. Martin?
Yes.
Ms. Nolan?
Yes.
Ms. Thomas?
Yes.
President Owens?
Yes.
Motion carried.
That moves us to discussion action, Dr. Johnson.
Thank you, President Owens. The first item tonight, itemized bills for August 18th, 2025. Robin Cornelison, Executive Director of Financial Services, will respond to questions from the Board of Education regarding the attached bills. Administration recommends the Board of Education approve the list of bills in the amount of $41,449,507.62.
May I have a motion to approve the list of bills in the amount of $41,449,507.62?
So, second?
Roll call, please.
Ms. Kerr?
Yes.
Ms. Khan? Yes. Ms. Martin?
Yes.
Ms. Nolan?
Yes.
Ms. Thomas?
Yes.
President Owens?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Next, we have our first resource proposal. So we have the Bartlett High School STEM Academy Engineering Curriculum Resource Proposal. We have Michelle Chapman, Director of Post-Secondary Success, Emelina Nedelkovic, Assistant Director of Post-Secondary Success, Gifted, Talented, and Magnet Programs, who are available to answer questions relating to the Bartlett High School STEM Academy Engineering Curriculum Resource Proposal.
May I have a motion to approve the Bartlett High School STEM Academy Engineering Curriculum Resource Proposal with a curriculum cost of $108,802 and an initial consumables cost of $87,646.42.
So moved. Second.
Any questions for our panelists? Okay, roll call, please.
Ms. Kerr?
Yes.
Ms. Khan?
Yes.
Ms. Martin?
Yes.
Ms. Nolan?
Yes.
Ms. Thomas?
Yes.
President Owens?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Next is the South Elgin High School Beacon Academy Curriculum Resource Proposal. And our team continues to be available to answer questions relating to the South Elgin High School Beacon Academy Curriculum Resource Proposal.
May I have a motion to approve the South Elgin High School's Beacon Academy Curriculum Resource Proposal with a curriculum cost of $33,160.52, ECC tuition costs of $4,500, and an annual consumables cost of $5,766.12.
So moved.
Second?
Any questions for our panelists? Okay, roll call, please.
Ms. Kerr?
Yes.
Ms. Khan?
Yes.
Ms. Martin?
Yes.
Ms. Nolan?
Yes.
Ms. Thomas?
Yes.
President Owens?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Next, we have the Streamwood High School Lead Academy Curriculum Resource Proposal. Again, our team is available to answer questions relating to the Streamwood High School Lead Academy Curriculum Resource Proposal.
May I have a motion to approve the Streamwood High School Lead Academy Curriculum Resource Proposal with a curriculum cost of $39,677.69, ECC tuition of $9,000, and an annual consumables cost of $34,479.29.
So moved?
Second.
Any questions for our panelists? Roll call, please.
Ms. Kerr?
Yes.
Ms. Khan?
Yes.
Ms. Martin?
Yes.
Ms. Nolan?
Yes.
Ms. Thomas?
Yes.
President Owens?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Our next item, board policy updates. Tricia Olson, Chief Legal Officer, will present proposed changes to the following board policies. Administration recommends adoption of the proposed changes.
Good evening. I am pleased to present Press Issue 118 to the Board of Education, including a number of board policy updates that are proposed as described during the last Board of Education meeting that was held on August 4th, 2025. There is one board policy that the board did request to have pulled and addressed as a separate item. That is Board Policy 2:235, which we will be addressing separately next. But unless the board has any desire for me to read through or give a general update of the board policy changes that was presented to the board during the prior board meeting, I will just present Press Issue 118 with the exception of Board Policy 2:235 for the board's consideration this evening.
Okay, may I have a motion to approve the IASB Press Issue 118 updates with the exclusion of Board Policy 2:235?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Dawn?
The policy that's pulled is 6235, not 2-235.
Thank you for the correction. I
Sorry.
did not even realize that the 6 came in my head only and not out of my mouth.
Do we need to amend the motion, or?
I'm okay if you'd
Okay.
like to amend the motion.
Okay. So we will, I'll retract the previous motion, correct? And then restate the motion as approving the IASB Press Issue 118 updates with the exclusion of Board Policy 2:235.
235.
I'm sorry, 6:235.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, now, do board members have any questions? Okay, roll call, please.
Ms. Kerr?
Yes.
Ms. Khan?
Yes.
Ms. Martin?
Yes.
Ms. Nolan?
Yes.
Ms. Thomas?
Yes.
President Owens?
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you so much, board members. Next, I'm happy to present information relating to 6:235, board policy addressing access to electronic networks. The last time we spoke, the board did have an outstanding question to me, which was, given the fact that this board policy does address a statewide recommendation that a task force made, that the Illinois State Board of Education also provide guidance to the field, the question was asked, is there a date by which the task force will make its updates, and that is the State Board of Education Task Force. I'm happy to let the board know that since we last met, and very recently, in fact, on the 15th of this month, the governor did sign Public Act 104-399, which did put into place the standard, including the date by which the State Board of Education will make that recommendation, and it will develop and publish guidance to the field by July 1 of 2026, and thereafter provide continuous updates as the State Board of Education deems necessary.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and read the motion into the record, and then we can ask questions after that. So may I have a motion to approve the IASB Press Issue 118 update, specifically Policy 6:235?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, now do board members have questions? John?
So I don't know if I have questions. I mean, I'm going to vote no. Just reading through the Press Plus comments on this. I mean, admittedly, They admit the AI has many unsettled legal and ethical issues, which I agree with. And then we look at the ISB issue where they are not coming out with their report and guidelines, even though that it was originally December of '24 that there was a report. They won't be coming out with their guidelines until 2026. Just recently, federal has come out with, they're going to be looking at different AI standards and grants, and honestly, I'd like to also see what they're thinking when it comes to the rollout of AI. And in the bottom of this comment section, I apologize, I'm trying to find it on my little screen. It does say before adoption of this subhead that the board may want to have conversations to determine local conditions, resources, which especially resources, since we've already looked at a proposal and we did not pass it at the time, and current practices are going to support the full implementation of a policy that addresses AI. These are all like comments that Press Plus included are concerns that I have. I would definitely like to see both our state and Fed kind of come out with more AI guidance. I do think there's still a lot of ethical concerns. I agree that it's important that students and staff understand how AI works, how it pulls, the biases in it, pros and cons. And I agree that teaching that part is important. But for me, rolling it into policy where I feel like we don't have a full conversation and a full understanding of where we want to go with it and what the expectations are at the state and federal level, I'm not comfortable voting yes on this policy with the additions.
Do other board members have any comments? So I guess my question, and probably directing this both to Ms. Olson and Dr. Johnson, knowing that we likely have some tools that are in place right now that are AI enabled, correct? And it may, I'm not talking about the very specific AI tools like ChatGPT, but more so we've got, other applications that are being used that have some form of AI enableization, even if that's just Google, correct? I mean, there's some AI that's being enabled at this point. I understand that we're making this policy change because of the Press Plus issue. But as we move forward as a school district with potentially or not, bringing other types of tools online that are also AI enabled, how quickly or how soon would we be able to make changes to any of the guidance that we have here to kind of capture what continues to happen? Because I realize that we should probably have something in place that covers the AI tools that we have right now, or the AI-enabled tools that we have right now. But then also recognizing that this is language that will likely need to be updated as things progress in this arena, if that makes sense.
I think there is both an opportunity for the Board of Education at any of its meetings that it chooses to make board policy updates if that's the desire of the board. So that is a preliminary answer that I would give to you. But also the recommended changes that are being made to this board policy do have some flexibility built into them, so that the district can implement changes to district-wide plans or practices, globally speaking, when there is an emergent need to make those changes. So for example, the press language does require that any tools be implemented in a safe, ethical, and equitable manner, that there be a district-wide AI plan that's developed, that those be implemented, district-wide and responsibly implemented, that we provide training to staff and students on the use of AI as appropriate, that those tools that are offered comply with state and federal law, and that on an annual basis we would update an AI plan and any guidelines as necessary. So those elements would provide the district some flexibility to make needed changes on a local level from a district plan or a district guideline that could be more easily changed in addition to any board policy changes that the board may wish to see taken at a board meeting itself.
I would add to, or I will add to Ms. Olson's comments, in that this policy supports interest of the work potentially to be able to bring forward a plan to start to do some of this work with staff members when it comes to spending a bit more time researching, looking into other platforms as well that utilize AI, so that we can learn from that work, we can provide appropriate training, we can bring forward a larger plan around guidelines and safety measures that need to be put in place prior to moving forward to student use. So I think that this policy aligns well with this work at this time. I also echo, though, Ms. Olson's comments about there will likely be a need at some point to make revisions to this policy if or when a larger plan comes forward for that adoption and implementation beyond training and research and use of for team members or staff members at this time.
Okay, thank you. Does anybody else have any other additional questions? Okay, roll call, please.
Ms. Kerr?
Yes.
Ms. Khan?
Yes.
Ms. Martin?
No.
Ms. Nolan?
Yes.
Ms. Thomas?
Yes.
President Owens?
Yes,
Motion carried.
thank you, everyone. Next item.
Our next item is a contract renewal for school safety extension of the 2024-2025 Village of South Elgin School Resource Officer contract. Tricia Olson, Chief Legal Officer, will be available to respond to questions from the Board of Education. Administration recommends approval of the extension of the 2024-2025 School Resource Officer contract with the Village of South Elgin and requests authorization for district administration to execute related documents. This expenditure will be charged to the education fund.
May I have a motion to approve the contract renewal for school safety extension of the 2024-2025 Village of South Elgin School Resource Officer contract?
So moved.
Second?
Any questions? Okay, roll call, please.
Ms. Kerr?
Yes.
Ms. Khan?
Yes.
Ms. Martin?
Yes.
Ms. Nolan?
Yes.
Ms. Thomas?
Yes.
President Owens?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Next, we have the ratification of August 4th, 2025 vote change order for plant operations, Elgin High School pool upgrade and bleacher replacement, project number 247. Sheila Downs, Assistant Superintendent of Operations, and Tricia Olson, Chief Legal Officer, will present this ratification and will respond to questions from the Board of Education. Administration recommends the Board of Education ratify a vote taken during the August 4th, 2025 Board of Education meeting by ratifying item 12E from that meeting, a work session change order for plant operations, Elgin High School pool upgrade and bleacher replacement, project number 247, seeking approval of a change order from Omni Construction Group Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $459,005.
May I have a motion for the ratification of the August 4th, 2025 vote, change order for plant operations, Elgin High School pool upgrade and bleacher replacement, project number 247?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Roll call, please.
Ms. Kerr?
Yes.
Ms. Khan?
Yes.
Ms. Martin?
Yes.
Ms. Nolan?
Yes.
Ms. Thomas?
Yes.
President Owens?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is other business. Dr. Johnson?
Thank you, President Owens. Our first item is June financial report. Robin Cornelison, Executive Director of Finance, will review the attached financial report and will respond to questions from the Board of Education.
Good evening, members of the board. Good evening, members of the Board of Education and Dr. Johnson. Tonight, I will be presenting key highlights from the June 2025 monthly financials. Please note that these statements are unaudited, meaning that they reflect our internal accounting records as of June 30th. This is standard for this time of year as the annual external audit process is currently underway. Once the audit is completed, final audited financials will be presented. This financial update for the School District U-46 June highlights include School District U-46 posted a $110.6 million surplus for June. This is a significant boost and mainly due to the increased revenue in property taxes. The unaudited fund balance now stands at $876.3 million. A growing fund balance indicates solid fiscal management and reserves for future needs. Our fund balance will grow due to the property taxes that we are now receiving. However, we reserve these for the months when tax payments are not received. So we're conservative, we hold them out for the 6 consecutive months that we go without some significant tax payments. We have 364 days of cash on hand. That allows us to operate for over a year without additional revenue, exceeding common benchmarks for financial stability. The combined cash and investments total over $914 million, further enforcing liquidity. The state of Illinois owes the district $0. Yes, I said $0. Down from $29,000 last year. This suggests reliable and timely funding from the state, which has historically been an issue in the past. Our June revenues totaled approximately $159 million, bringing year-to-date revenue excluding financial resources to $842.2 million. This represents 102.7% of our non-financing revenue budget, placing us well ahead of historical pacing. June is typically a significant revenue month, accounting for just over 20% of our total annual revenue as we begin receiving property tax distributions from Kane and DuPage counties during this period. Our local revenue reached $442 million year-to-date, which is at 107.1% budget, driven by property tax collections and investment income. State revenue added $34.5 million in June, totaling $329.6 million year-to-date, or 98.1% of our budget, with federal revenues totaling nearly $3 million in June, reaching 96.7% of its annual allocation. Our expenditures totaled approximately $48.5 million in June, bringing year-to-date spending to $758.2 million, or 88.5% of the annual expenditure budget. However, please remember that paid expenditures in July and August for June services will be accrued and reallocated to FY25 during the annual audit process. So that we do start out slow, but that will increase as we bring those accrues back during the audit process. Our salaries are slightly exceeding the annual budget at 104.28%. However, our benefits are right on target at 100%. Other objects and non-capitalized equipment added $5.4 million in June, bringing that to 96.8, while our purchase services and supplies and materials are currently at 87.9 and 85.5% respectively. Capital outlay has increased to $41.8 million, reflecting continued progress on our facility and infrastructure projects across the district. As far as our liquidity, I'll be talking about that further next. Our cash and money market balances as of June 30th is $533.6 million. Our investments at $381 million, with a total liquid asset of $914.6 million. In summary, the June 2025 financials reflect a strong fiscal position for School District U-46. With a significant monthly surplus, a growing fund balance, and over a year's worth of cash on hand, the district is well positioned to meet both current obligations and future investments. Revenues have outpaced expectations, particularly in local resources, while expenditures remain well managed and aligned with strategic priorities. The district's liquidity remains robust and further underscores continued financial stability. thank you for your time and attention. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you for the report, and I think we're all a little bit surprised about that zero
Zero,
that's
I
sitting
know.
there.
Yes.
I don't think I've ever seen that. Do board members have any questions? Sue?
So I think you answered one of these questions. So the reason the local revenue was higher than expected was interest income or investment income?
Well, that's a contributing factor. It's always a contributing factor. Our interest rates have been on the higher.
Right.
Now they're going to be going down according to, our recent federal news. So I'll report that in a moment with our investments. But yes, those investments are always a part of that revenue piece.
And the capital outlay expenditures, they're very different from what we budgeted. Is that just because of the way bills are coming in?
It does. So
Okay.
capital, as we know, is predominantly in the summer. So by the time we get them paid, we will see those. And again, as I mentioned, anything that was done in June that we pay in July and August will come back. But predominantly, the majority is June, July, and August. So we'll see those expenditures in our FY26 budget.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any additional questions? Okay. Move on to the next report.
Our next report is the investment report for the fourth quarter, and Robin Cornelison remains at the dais to present the attached investment report for the fourth quarter and respond to questions from the Board of Education.
So this fourth quarter investment report covers the period of April 1st to June 30th, providing an overview of the district's investment activities. As of June 30th, the total value of our investment portfolio was $816.6 million, an increase of $29 million or 3.7% compared to the previous quarter. This growth is mainly due to the increase of our savings deposit, money market accounts, and the funds that we invested due to the property tax revenue. The district did earn $7.2 million in interest income from its investments during this quarter. At the end of fourth quarter, the investment mix did shift just ever so slightly to 47.9% in liquid and cash and 52.1% in fixed rate investments. The overall ratio between fixed rate investments and liquid portfolios remained relatively stable throughout the quarter. The modest 7.7% reallocation from fixed rate to liquid are primarily due to the maturity of various numbers of our investments that went through. Also, we have some anticipated capital expenditures that will happen through the summer months. So we continue to work with our investment partners as we continue to get our property tax revenue as well. We collaborate with our investment partners and prioritize fixed rate investments when appropriate, aiming to secure higher yields in anticipation of declining interest rates. The strategic investment mix is designed to optimize returns while maintaining adequate liquidity. I welcome the opportunity to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you. Do board members have any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next item on the agenda is work session, contracts over $35,000. Dr. Johnson.
Thank you, President Owens. Our first item is a contract renewal for Assessment, Accountability, and Student Success, Kane County Regional Office of Education Learning Partner. Brian Tennyson, Assistant Superintendent of Teaching and Learning, and Matt Ramondi, Director of Assessment, Accountability, and Student Success, will present the attached proposal and respond to questions from the Board of Education. Administration recommends approval of the contract renewal with Kane County Regional Office of Education in the amount of $87,000 and requests authorization for district administration to execute related documents. This expenditure will be charged to the education fund. The cost is included in the budget for the 2025-2026 fiscal year.
Do board members have any questions? Thank you.
Our next item is a contract renewal. Chief of Staff, Gallup Incorporated. Brian Lindholm, Chief of Staff, will present the attached proposal and respond to questions from the Board of Education. Administration recommends approval of the 3-year contract renewal with Gallup Incorporated in the total amount of $370,890 and requests authorization for district administration to execute related documents. This expenditure will be charged to the education fund. The cost is included in the budget for the 2025-2026 through 2027-2028 fiscal years.
Do board members have any questions? Sumrine?
Will this be working with our essential survey that we do every year? And then also, that's question number one, and then number two is, how and will this be integrated also with our strategic plan?
Yes, so it would be in addition to the 5 Essentials survey. This is a survey just of staff engagement, so the 5 Essentials is something that all districts in the state give to students, staff, and families. So this is specific to staff employee engagement, so I guess that would be the answer to that question. And then in terms of the alignment with the strategic plan, actually that's one of the things that the Gallup team has been working very closely with us on, is how to make sure that some of the things that we're addressing as we approach employee engagement are in direct alignment with the strategic plan. So we had a very good session with them with Cabinet just 2 or 3 weeks ago, right before school started, and I think we will definitely make sure that this work supports the rollout of the strategic plan. Yep. Thank you.
Any additional questions? Okay, thank you.
Our next item is contract renewal, curriculum and instruction, elementary literacy consultant. Celia Banks, Director of Curriculum and Instruction, and Jacqueline Johnson, Coordinator of Literacy and Libraries, will present the attached proposal and respond to questions from the Board of Education. Administration recommends approval of the contract renewal with MQD I4Kids LLC in the amount of $60,400 and requests authorization for district administration to execute related documents. This expenditure will be charged to the education fund. The cost is included in the budget for the 2025-2026 fiscal year.
Do board members have any questions? Okay, thank you.
Next is a contract renewal, curriculum and instruction, K-12 science and planetarium, HMH 6th grade science. Celia Banks, Director of Curriculum and Instruction, is joined by Deborah McMullen, Coordinator of K-12 Science and Planetarium, to present the attached proposal and respond to questions from the Board of Education. Administration recommends approval of the contract renewal with Houghton Mifflin Harcourt in the amount of $49,160 and requests authorization for district administration to execute related documents. This expenditure will be charged to the education fund. The cost is included in the budget for the 2025-2026 fiscal year.
Do board members have any questions? Thank you.
And finally, we have a contract renewal, specialized student services, health services, automatic external defibrillator maintenance program. Amanda Leatherby, Director of Specialized Student Services, and Patty Kenyon, Health Services Supervisor, will present the attached proposal and respond to questions from the Board of Education. Administration recommends approval of the contract renewal with School Health in the amount of $44,722.95 and requests authorization for district administration to execute related documents. This expenditure will be charged to the education fund. The cost is included in the budget for the 2025-2026 fiscal year.
Do board members have any questions? Sue?
Just one. How long do AEDs units last generally?
Between 5 and 10 years. So
Okay.
we already have a plan to update them as they start to.
So we have an age and obsolescence plan?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any additional questions? Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
That is the last item on our agenda. I will take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Kirk?
Yes.
Ms. Khan?
Yes.
Ms. Martin?
Yes.
Ms. Nolan?
Yes.
Ms. Thomas?
Yes.
President Owens?
Yes.
We are adjourned at 8:09 PM.
Thank you, everyone.